What is up, guys? Ativ here. And in this video, I'll be talking about my NFL Week 11 predictions with UEP. What's up, UEP?
What's up, Ativ? Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, no problem. You're basically like a daily person at this point.
Weekly, but all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
We are going to start off. Oh, it's Thursday Night Football. I didn't realize that. Well, starting off fresh with our weekly dose of the Seahawks giving me a heart attack. Um, Seahawks Cardinals. So I'm one of those people who likes to, play with math rather than just common sense, which I mean, it's kind of contradictory, but in this case, I mean it in that the Cardinals won game one. These are two pretty evenly matched teams. Uh, I really do think the Seahawks are going to win this game. We're at home, and I know that we don't play well at home against the Cardinals, but in 2018 we were actually able to beat them at home. Now, granted, they were awful that year, but I think that we're going to snap our streak in these past 3 years, and we're going to be able to beat the Cardinals. It'll be close. It'll be very high scoring, and I really think that we should have won the game in Arizona a few weeks back, but losing two in a row, good teams don't do that. Good teams also don't lose three in a row, and I think the Seahawks are a very good team. I think Wilson's going to have a great game coming back from his mediocre performance against the Rams, which mediocre isn't that bad, obviously, but for Russell Wilson, I know he knows he can do a lot better than that. I think the defense is gonna play better. The defense played all right. Actually, they played pretty well in the second half against the Rams. So I'm biased, I know, but I got the Seahawks winning this game.
All right. So as much as I hate to admit it, I'm gonna have to agree with UEP. I have the Seahawks winning as well. Now, like you said, the Seahawks have lost two in a row. Russell Wilson, he literally has 7 interceptions in his last 4 games. And Russell Wilson, I'm pretty sure the whole season last season, he had 5 interceptions. At one point in the season, he was on pace to break Manning's 55 touchdown record. Now he's on pace for 49 touchdowns. And I think that he's probably going to have a 3 or 4 touchdown game. This game, Chris Carson probably won't play, but if Carlos
Really?
Hyde plays, he could get another touchdown like he did last time they played the Cardinals. And I think that it's going to be, as much as I hate to say this, it's basically a pick your poison for the Cardinals. Who are they going to guard? Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf? Because as we all know, Tyler Lockett had that insane game last time they played because DK Metcalf was fully guarded. Although DK Metcalf probably did have the second best play behind the Cardinals receiver, who could have an insane game. Now, while DeAndre Hopkins didn't have the greatest game versus the Seahawks last time, he was fully guarded, and he probably will be fully guarded again. So who knows? Maybe Christian Kirk could get a multi-touchdown game. Maybe Larry Fitzgerald could do some good stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't see the Cardinals winning this. I think that it will be split, although this is the game, what I'm pretty sure is for number one in the NFC West right now.
All right, now let's move on. We got an AFC matchup.
There's no point of talking about this. Like, Steelers for sure.
Minshew Mania. No, I'm kidding. Steelers are going to win by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this is actually be an interesting game. I root for both these teams. I root for the Lions because I like a lot of their players, like Matt Stafford, Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. Um, and I also root for them because I like to see teams suffer, and the Lions are the definition of suffering. But I root for the Panthers because I like Teddy Bridgewater. But when in doubt, go with the home team, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think they're a better coach team. I think that they just play to the best of their ability more than the Lions do. It'll be close, but especially them coming off a brutal loss to a division rival, they're not going to be happy about that. The Carolina Panthers are going to win this game, and they're going to win it by a more convincing amount than you expect. They're going to win by a touchdown and a field goal, 10 points.
Now, I think that the Panthers are going to be livid especially after losing by twice their own score. And I mean, the Lions, look, if they lose this game, then I think that their playoff chances go really far down. But if they win this, I think they go really up. But I don't see them winning this. I'm not sure if Kenny Galladay's going to play or not, but DeAndre Swift, he's really inconsistent when it comes to having good games. Like, he's had 2 good games this season. And don't get me wrong, he can play on both cylinders of the ball. But then you have DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. And I don't think Christian McCaffrey's going to play, but DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson is more than enough for any team. And I mean, the Lions just don't have the defense to the point where they can guard those 2 receivers. Teddy Bridgewater knows how to play. He has the IQ for sure. And I think that the Panthers can pull this one off.
All right, moving on.
All right, so Patriots at Texans. The Texans are 2-7 right now. they have had one of the toughest schedules of any team this season, though. So I think that their schedule doesn't say how good they are. But at the same time, I do think that the Patriots will be winning this one. They're going to be really happy after coming off a Sunday night. I believe it was a Sunday night win versus the Ravens. And look, the Patriots are 4-5 right now, which is really surprising. They could actually make a push I don't think that they're gonna win the AFC East, but that race is getting way closer than it was at one point. And Bill Belichick, he knows what he's doing, of course. Cam Newton's playing not as well as he was in the first half, but he's definitely getting back to a bit better than he was after he came back, right after he came back after his break. And the Patriots receivers obviously aren't good, but Stephon Gilmore, he's probably going to guard Brandon Cooks. And Deshaun Watson hasn't been Deshaun Watson at all this season. David Johnson's been injured for a bit, and he hasn't done too much. So I think the Patriots can win this one.
All right, I agree. I think that the Patriots are. I agree. I think the Patriots are going to figure out a way to win this game, especially because of the fact that the Texans have a bad habit of coming really close to winning these games, and they're competitive with Tennessee, for example, and they lost that game. But I just do not want to bet against Bill Belichick in a very close game at the end in a do or die situation. I don't like. It's very rare that Belichick loses games aside from this season, but I'm a believer, meaning that I believe in Bill Belichick, and I think that he's going to do something funky. And I think the Texans, I can just see Deshaun Watson getting absolutely murdered by that Patriots defense. Yes, like you mentioned, Stephon Gilmore is probably going to guard Brandon Cooks. That'll take away his go-to receiving option. Randall Cobb is probably the number 2 receiver. Actually, it's probably Will Fuller. But either way, I just don't see the Texans having a big playmaker on an offense able to combat Gilmore's playmaking ability. And I think that offensive line is just so bad that it just, I don't know. I kind of want the Texans. Well, actually, I want the Texans to win because I hate the Patriots. But unfortunately for the whole world, the Patriots are probably going to win this game. And you know what? They're probably going to be 5-5. They might just make another playoff push, and it'll be sickening to watch. So yeah. Now, both these teams are playing have been playing poorly these past few games. I think Tennessee's 6-3, right, Ativ?
Yep.
Yes, and the Ravens are 6-3 too, I think.
I think they might be. Yeah, they're 6-3 actually.
Yeah. So either way, the Ravens, they're at home. When in doubt, go with the home team. And I think that after coming off that horrible Sunday night loss to the Patriots, again, they really should have won easily. Coming off that bad Sunday night loss to the Patriots, I think they're just going to be able to channel that energy. They also are probably going to be able to match up better against the Titans defense. Of course, the Titans don't have a bad defense, but I think that Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback, obviously, and he matches up, or he has a more favorable matchup against Tennessee's slower defense than New England, which with Bill Belichick can really be anything you want it to be. It's a infinite-headed monster, meaning that it can evolve into different things every week. So I think that the Ravens are going to be able to beat the Titans. It'll be close, but Baltimore.
Now, look, while I can't trust any of these teams to ever win, I just can't trust the Ravens at all this season. Their offense has been nothing like it was last season. Everyone had high hopes for Hollywood Brown. What has he done? Lamar Jackson, not even half of what he was last season. And the Titans, sure, their defense isn't the greatest, but I can trust in Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, and Ryan Tannehill way more than I can trust in Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, and Hollywood Brown. And yes, the Ravens defense is really good, but I think that the Titans offense is honestly better than the Ravens defense. And I think that the Titans can definitely pull the win off. They definitely did it last season in the postseason, and Derrick Henry was an absolute beast then. And Derrick Henry, he's actually averaging surprisingly 4.6 yards per carry. And he's been a bit inconsistent, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, he's Derrick Henry, and he's probably going to surpass 1,000 yards in this game.
Playoff rematch, by the way.
Yep.
Of last year. Those were some good times. Good times.
Yep, for sure.
All right, now let's move on. Eagles Browns. I like this game. Interesting.
while I have the Browns winning, I can see the Eagles winning. I mean, the Browns finally got Nick Chubb back. I like Nick Chubb a lot. I think that he's a very humble player. He doesn't talk too much, unlike the rest of the Browns, and he's probably the best player on that team. He and Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett, he has 9.5 sacks, leading the league right now. And I think that Miles Garrett, I mean, that Eagles O line is absolutely broken. Carson Wentz, of course, got sacked 9 times versus the Washington football team in the first game. And while this isn't a rivalry, I feel like this is going to remind me of a rivalry game because either this is going to be a super low scoring game or it's going to be a shootout. But I'm going to have to go with the Browns winning because I think that they have more talent and while Kevin Stefanski isn't the greatest coach, I think that he knows what he's doing much more than the previous Browns coaches.
I mean, that's not really hard to accomplish. I think that your average Madden player could do better than Freddie Kitchens in 2019 play calling. But um, the Philadelphia Eagles, I want them to win this game because they deserve it more. But still, the Browns are going to win. They're at home. They're just less injured overall. And I really think that, Baker Mayfield's going to have a better game matching up against that Eagles secondary. Yeah, they have Darius Slay, he's a great cornerback, excuse me, don't get me wrong. But that whole secondary just hasn't gelled yet, and they haven't been able to perform well against, just drop back quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield. So
Yeah, they don't have the chemistry for sure.
yeah, you're right. You know what? For the sake of time, I'm just going to say that the Saints are going to win this game. It'll be 14-point win for the Saints. They're at home anyways, and the Falcons, they've been playing better, but they're still not good enough to beat a Saints team that played very well last week too.
Famous James, his first game starting for the Saints, his first win starting for the Saints. I mean, Falcons are just too inconsistent.
I mean, you are right. And by the way, Drew Brees I think he'll be back in 2 or 3 weeks, so that's good news for Saints.
Yeah, like that's when you know you're tough. Like Drew Brees is a dog.
Yeah.
All right, honestly, I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals winning. Like the Washington football team, they have a really good front seven. Don't get me wrong, but Chase Young hasn't been performing as much as I thought he would. And Alex Smith, this dude had near 400 yards, but not a single interception or touchdown. Like only Alex Smith would do that. As much as I like Alex Smith, he's the only quarterback that can possibly pull that off. And I mean, Joe Burrow, he's been getting 300-yard games after 300-yard games. And I mean, this dude, he just had a bye week. He's going to be really fresh. And I feel like a fresh Joe Burrow would be one of, honestly, I think that could be one of the scariest quarterbacks in the league. Like, he's going to go in with a bunch of confidence, although he already has a lot. And I think that they're just going to have a fresh mindset. They're going to think that this half of the season is theirs. And I think that they're going to come out with a strong start.
I agree. I think that the Bengals are a better team on paper, and that offense has they're sneaky good. I think the Bengals are, and we all like to laugh at the Bengals, myself included, for not winning a playoff game since dinosaurs roamed the earth. We laugh at them for blowing constant leads, as we saw a few weeks ago against the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
But I still really like Joe Burrow. I think he's pretty likable guy. I think that offense with AJ Green and Tyler Boyd is very hard to stop, especially for a Washington secondary that does not really have that star player, or they haven't really gelled. I mean, like the days of Quentin Dunbar and Josh Norman are gone for them. So I do think that it'll be on the more lower scoring side, but the Cincinnati Bengals, that offense, it'll be hard to contain. And Joe Mixon, I forgot to mention him, but it'll be hard for the Bengals to contain, or for the Washington football team, to contain the Cincinnati Bengals offense. So I think it'll be like 24-17, something like that. Bengals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I just want to add this. I think that these two teams have two of the most underrated players in the NFL, Terry McLaurin and Tyler Boyd. I think that those two players are really underrated. And while I do think Terry McLaurin's better, I think that they never get the credit they deserve.
I mean, yeah, certainly, but I think it's just because they're on bad teams that no one really cares about.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like Kenny Galladay.
Let me just start out this next game by saying this is the most Chargers thing ever to lose this game. Seriously, the Jets are and I think everyone's rooting for the Jets to go 0-16 because that would be hilarious. But the Chargers are going to mess it up. Just watch them have a 25-point lead. Going into the fourth quarter, 28-3, classic blowing lead. By the way, being up 28-3 is a curse. They're up 28-3, and then they just fall apart and they lose the game. It's Chargers thing, but I'll go with my brain, not my heart. And even though it would be funny to see the Chargers lose. It would destroy our hopes of seeing an 0-16 Jets squad, which is the most hilarious thing ever. So Chargers, they have a better team. They're at home. They'll take it.
Bro, I can't even lie to you. I honestly were about to put the Jets down. Like the Chargers are the only team in the NFL, I think right now, that can actually lose to the Jets, and I could have a bit of confidence, and I wouldn't be that surprised. Like I was actually about to put the Jets down. I didn't put them down, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets honestly won this game, and that I will not be saying for the rest of the season probably, but yeah.
All right.
Oh, and let's not forget Justin Herbert got his haircut, so.
Yep. I think that'll single-handedly propel them to victory, Ativ.
Yeah, like his hair isn't gonna get in his face, and maybe, hey, who knows? Like he had a really bad game last week, so. Anyway, this game there isn't really any point talking about it. Like the Broncos, I really don't see how they're even in the hunt. Like they're trash.
Yeah, sadly for them. I mean, the days of Emmanuel Sanders and Cortland Sutton and Demaryius Thomas for them are over. The Dolphins have moved on from Adam Gase, which is smart. They've moved on from being a complete hot mess like they were last year, and they have become a good team. And I'm sorry for the notifications. I can't turn them off right now because I'm locked in Keynote, but I think the Dolphins are just the better team right now, and they're going to win.
Agreed.
Convincingly. And by the way, we all laughed at the Niners getting destroyed by the Dolphins, but
Bro, the Dolphins have destroyed almost every single NFC West team. So Niners, don't feel bad.
Except for the best team.
Y'all are a great organization. Everyone likes you.
Wait. Oh. Okay. Actually, never mind. Sorry. Whoops. Okay. I don't like to do this because
what?
I hate the Cowboys a lot, but at one point or other, they're gonna actually win a game, and even though they don't have a quarterback, really, I think that they're gonna.
About that goat.
I think that we're gonna narrowly. They're gonna narrowly.
Oh no! What is
just by being idiots and just piggybacking off their talent, they're gonna beat the Vikings, and I hate it so much because Dalvin Cook deserves a win. But I know Ateev disagrees.
Bro, not even gonna lie, Vikings might actually make a push for being in the wild card. Yes, that sounds crazy. They're 4-5 right now. They've won like 3 straight. Dalvin Cook, I think that if quarterbacks didn't always win MVPs, he would be the MVP right now. This dude literally threw like 8 games. 8 games. He has 954 yards and 13 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook is gonna carry them. The Vikings defense has Michael Kendricks and Harrison Smith, who are 2 great players, and Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. I mean, Amari Cooper's done a bit, but Michael Gallup hasn't done anything this season. And I think that the Vikings, I think that Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen will help them on their offensive side. And honestly, the Vikings offense is really good, and then their defense is pretty athletic.
Actually, just for the sake of me being giving myself some cushion, so the way that me and Ativ do this is he shares a keynote presentation with me. So his picks are in. So what I do if I'm in doubt, like really in doubt, I just go with the other team to make it interesting. So I won't be shocked if the Vikings win, but yeah, okay.
Feel you. All right, this one I think that the Colts are gonna give the Packers a run for their money. I think that the Packers will win, but I think that I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Colts win, just like that time that the Vikings won. Like, I see this game being really close. Maybe not more than a touchdown or a field goal, maybe 2 field goals, but I think that Aaron Rodgers, despite the Colts defense being so good, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, in my eyes, has been the second best QB at this point in the league. And he's having the greatest season of his career, in my eyes, and he and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones they're different human beings. And they just have so much chemistry as well, which makes that offense so special. And then on their defense, they have Jair Alexander, who's probably been the best cornerback this season. He's top 3 for sure. But I think that the Colts, their defense is what's going to help them so much. And Phillip Rivers is looking like Phillip Rivers. And Nyheim Hines, he's playing really well.
Now, for whatever reason, contrary to my friend Ativ, I really think the Packers are just going to blow the Colts out. The Colts, I can see them winning this game. They're not a bad team, don't get me wrong. I really like the Colts, but I just see them getting blown out. It's just a gut feeling. And either way, the Packers are still the slightly better team. But yeah. Now, I, I get that the Raiders won this last game, but come on. They're not going to sweep the Chiefs. They're at home this time, so that's their one advantage. But the Chiefs, they've been playing better lately. That defense is playing a lot better. So they're not going to slow down Mahomes. The Chiefs are going to win by 14 points. I'm calling it right now. You heard it here on Ativ Talks Football. Chiefs are going to win by 14.
UEP's bold predictions. You should make something like that. But honestly,
Fun fact, just really quickly, if I can interject.
yeah,
I was about to say 14% because that's my whole life right now. But continue.
14%.
Yeah, because my other channel, it's just all politics. So, Blank's going to win by 14%. So, one day I'll slip up and I'll say that some team is going to win by like 10%, and that'll make no sense. But
I see you. I see you.
all right, let's go, Tiv.
Chiefs. Like, let's be real here. Mahomes is the MVP right now. Edwards-Helaire, I think, has top 5 rushing yards. Tyreek Hill is tied for the most receiving touchdowns. Defense, Chris Jones is getting things together. Tyrann Mathieu knows what he's doing. This team is the meaning of IQ. And Andy Reid behind Bill Belichick, probably for the highest IQ for a coach. Like, this team's just so well built.
Monday Night Football. Football that
Bro, how many times are the Buccaneers gonna get a goddamn primetime game? Because of
it's
Golden.
always Monday Night. Like, it's never Sunday night. It's always Monday Night Football.
Literally, and it's because of Golden Boy Tom Brady, right? I mean, sure, the Buccaneers are gonna win this, but I think that the Rams might actually make it close. Like, they're gonna have a bunch of confidence after beating the measly Seahawks. And Jared Goff, he's probably not gonna do that good. And Darrell Henderson's not been like how he was to the
Reminder that the measly Seahawks beat the even measlier 49ers.
Well, we have our team is full of injuries. So if the Seahawks had injuries like ours, Seahawks would be even more measly than we are right now. But I think that the Rams will lose this one. But I think that the Rams could make it close, honestly.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a shootout. But I just see the Buccaneers, Tom Brady, man. The Buccaneers are probably the only team right now that gets just better and better and better. And by playoff time, unfortunately, they're going to be unstoppable. But Buccaneers are going to win this game. I think that the Rams defense, they're pretty good. I'll say that. They're for real. But I just don't see them slowing down Tampa Bay. So Buccaneers are going to win. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for having me on the show, Ativ.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Super fun.
All right. See y'all later. Subscribe to Ativ's channel. Get him to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I know we can do it. We have it in us.
Subscribe to UEP. Link in the description. Bye.